Welcome to Computer Society of India's September webinar. In today's rapidly evolving technological landscape, the mainframe continues to play a crucial role in the IT infrastructure of many organizations, powering critical applications and handling large-scale data processing with unmatched reliability and security. However, as businesses strive for agility, scalability, and cost efficiency, there is an increasing need to modernize these legacy systems to integrate with the cloud platforms, adopt new development methodologies, and leverage advanced technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and automation. This webinar will explore the latest trends in mainframe modernization, including strategies for integrating mainframes with modern cloud environments, leveraging microservices and APIs, adopting DevOps practices, and enhancing mainframe capabilities with advanced analytics and artificial intelligence. An expert in the field will share insights on how organizations can navigate the complexities of mainframe modernization to achieve greater flexibility, improve performance, and future-proof their IT investments. Join us to learn about the cutting-edge approaches, tools, and best practices that are reshaping the future of mainframe computing. We are privileged to have an expert to enlighten us. Let me introduce the speaker. Mr. Senthil Kumaran is a seasoned principal architect with over 2.5 decades of exposure on multiple legacy technologies and have modernized multiple complex systems. His expertise also includes large-scale workload migration to cloud, business carve-outs, data center exits, building multi-cloud and private cloud. He is now Senior Director and is leading the mainframe modernization practice in Capgemini. Sir, we are very happy to have an expert like you to enlighten us. Sir, over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. Right. So without further ado, let me jump into the topic itself. So following is the content for today, agenda for today. Right. Let me jump into the topic now. So many of you may not understand what mainframe is, right? Most of you would have known mainframe before. For those who are hearing mainframe for the very first time, I just want to touch some basic information about mainframe. I'll also share my experience. Right, mainframes are very powerful, high-performance computers next in line from supercomputers. Right, so the scale is like supercomputers, then mainframe, then mid-range microcomputers. Right, they are known for security, resilience, as the introduction as mentioned, very scalable, and has a high level of online transaction, huge IOPS, right? Facilitated by SCON and FICONs. So these are cables leveraged to transfer data and connecting different peripheral devices with the mainframe and also to internet. Then also it is backward compatible. So which means the program which you wrote right today, right, will be able to run it in the past system, and the code which you have written 20 decades ago, 20 years ago, you will be able to run in the state-of-the-art newest system without much change. So that is a compatibility we are talking about. So all these mainframes started 1950s, right? Imagine one technology standing for several decades, right? So let me also show you who are the main manufacturers of mainframe. So IBM, Fujitsu, you see the screen, IBM, Fujitsu, Siemens, Hitachi. So interestingly, None of these guys are in the business now. Only IBM is still manufacturing mainframe and developing software and also investing huge fund into this space, right? So they are only survivors, I would say. Coming to which all industry embrace mainframe. So we can see banking, freight and logistics. When I say banking, almost I will show some snippets, interesting trivia. So almost all the banks, they are supporting multiple regions. They will be running on mainframe. Freight and logistics, there are some examples which is spread across the country, across the globe, right? Will be surely using mainframe the backend. Most of the airlines are using it. The statistics says 9 out of 10 airlines are using mainframe as their backend. Automotive, you'll see all the automotive, be it Japanese automotive, European, or North America, they all use mainframe as a backend. Insurance, retail, defense, capital market, communication, there are few others as well, healthcare. Mainframe is everywhere, right? So let me show you few trivia, right? Why mainframe, right? Why they are so big? It is running 4 billion lines of code. Still runs on mainframe, right? It's huge, right? And 90% of all the credit card transaction all over the world still are processed by mainframe. And the latest hardware Z16 system is capable of processing 19 billion transaction per day. It's so huge, so huge. And it is also capable of having main memory of 40 terabytes. I would like to recall the very first time I was introduced to mainframe, right? So it was CA. They took me to a floor walk for this mainframe hosted data center. So it was a high-raised building, right? Raised floor building. And they showed us a very big, we were looking for like servers, what looks like a server and racks and other things. But they showed us a very big box and said, do you know what this is? We were saying, oh, we don't know what that is, but we know servers are lying here, right? What they showed me is this is the main processing unit, right? And they showed me another large box and say, this is DASD, right? DASD is the storage for mainframe, right? And they showed another small, it can be comparable to our cupboard, right? They showed another small box and said, hey, this is another DASD. Can you tell us what is the capacity for this? And we were not able to tell them. So they said the bigger one is 2 GB and the smaller one is 6 GB. So 6 GB of data can be stored in those, right? It was looking like a big box, big cupboard, right? In today's world, we are able to carry terabytes of data in a mobile phone, right? And you know what? Another trivia, when I was introduced to mainframe, the maximum main memory supported on OS 390 was 2 GB, right? It was a 32-bit processing, and the operating system was able to process with addressing of 2 power 31 bits. 2 power 31 is 2 GB, right? So today's hardware, now it is, after the advent of ZOS, it is 64-bit, which is capable of having, if hardware permits, can have like 16 petabyte of main memory. But in today's world, realistically possible, they claim to have 40 terabyte of main memory, right? Imagine our desktops may have 8 GB, 16 GB, right? Okay, another trivia, the market size is really huge. So some who don't know mainframe, they may think, okay, mainframe may be used by 1% or 2%. The market size is too huge. It was 5.5 billion estimated in 2023, and as having a steady growth of a CAGR of 2.6, right? And another interesting statistic shows that 68% of all production workloads are handled by mainframe. So this is what the company says IBM is claiming. But imagine 68% of the world's production workload, right? Fantastic. So we are seeing a lot of interesting things about mainframe. Right now, let's understand uh, why we are talking about modernization then, right? So before going there, let's also understand what the industry perceives about mainframe, right? I'll show a slide and then we'll move on. So this is a report from Forrester. Uh, among the respondents who are using mainframe, right, in 2024, they were saying 54% of them showed interest that they will increase the use of mainframe. So which means they're going to bring new application into mainframe or expand the scope of mainframe, right? So another statistics research says that 71% of Fortune 500 companies are using mainframe. So which means all the top companies still have faith in mainframe, right? And it is going to stay for several decades from now, right? And if you see the availability, 99 followed by four nines. So that translates to be 31 seconds per year. So downtime, SLA, is just 31 seconds. It will be down per year, right? So I have spoken to some of the mainframe admin. What they say is they haven't stopped mainframe even for a single minute from the time it was installed. Why? uh, Hot swaps are possible, right? As the processor, it is not single processing. You always have a mirror processing. The main processor will handle the instruction workload. The second processor will handle the data, bringing in data, and so you will be able to hot swap. You will be able to, while it is running, you can plug it out, and you won't see a blip in the mainframe performance. So while we were on the shop, one of the person just plugged out and said, "Hey, this is the mainframe you guys are working on, right? I just pull the processor out. You won't see a glimpse." So it is well designed for fault tolerance, right? So let me move to the last point. This IDC did a survey for 800 companies, and they said out of them, 68% said they are going to invest further in long term on mainframe. So all these shows that they have faith in mainframe and they want to invest further on mainframe. But I can remember the very first conversation I was involved in mainframe modernization. At that time, they said, no, in the next decade, you won't see mainframe anywhere. They have already stopped the manufacturing mainframe, and they may not employ new mainframe. No one is willing to commission new mainframe. So this is the story I was told. Right? I'm still ahead 2 decades now, and what I'm hearing is no, mainframe is going to stay for a longer period. Okay. All right. So we heard all the good things and greater things about mainframe. Now let's see the context from our topic for the day, right? So I will use an analogy so that you'll be able to relate to it very easily, right? So hope many of you would remember this white car. So this is Hindustan Motor ambassador car, right? I don't know how many of the listeners uh, would have seen and traveled on it, right? Right. That was called a pleasure car in my young days, right? That was considered one of the luxury, right? Now, if you see, is it still a luxury? No. It is known for strength, power, and say reliability, and we need to know it is a 1.5 2 ton car, right? Um, so, do you consider that legacy, right? And in the right side, you see a modern car. You can't bring in all the possible heavy weightage, performance, and reliability on the new car, but still you will have a lot of bells and whistle relevant for today's market and people. So you call that modern? Yes, yes or no? So these are some of the factors, though. So though we talk about heaviness, right? Have you heard any mainframe getting hacked? Would not have. Have you heard any mainframe with the virus? Would not have heard it at all. So it's very built for performance. Mainframe is built for those special heavy duty workloads and high IOPS. But still, it is considered legacy. So let's see why. Right. So now I imprinted a point legacy onto mainframe. Right. So before telling you reasons, so let's come and see what are the reasons why they are considered legacy, and why do some of the customers or most of the customer want to exit mainframe or modernize their application outside mainframe, right? Uh, one of the reason is cost. Cost of ownership is huge. So even before you run the very first workload on mainframe, it takes several months to commission, right? So it has a huge amount of capex, capital expenditure, even to commission it, to start running it, plus the license cost, and it is a proprietary hardware which runs proprietary software, right? So all these will increase our cost, right? Then we have risk associated with the future and growth, and, right? So business value now increasingly businesses saying value per dollar, right? The CXOs are talking more about the frequency of the value per dollar is increasing. The frequency of usage is increasing. Then fit for growth. So you want to expand your ecosystem, right? So is mainframe the right one, or it is not allowing you to grow, right? Business agility, right? People who worked on mainframe would be able to relate, right? Any small change, it takes several weeks or even months to amend those changes and get it in real release cycle in mainframe. But today is a world where we are talking about new ideas in the morning. By evening, it is already realized in production. Uh, Skills and the mainframe. Uh, this was an opportunity for India, right? In the past 2 decades, in the end of 1990s, right? There were a lot of institutions which were training new freshers into fresh people out of college in mainframe training. So that was because uh, they had a in US and Europe they were using mainframes heavily, and the people who started working there are getting aged and they are in the verge of retiring. So they want to replace fresh and also cheap talent, right? Cost effective talent. So that was an opportunity for countries like India to train our people, and that became an opportunity for us. So now, if you compare, India has more number of people trained on mainframe skills than any other country. China is catching up, but India is in the lead. Coming to integration, there is a perception that it is very difficult to integrate with the mainframe. So talk about any distributed system, people are happy, architects are happy, yes. So if you talk to any general architect about mainframe, they'll take a step back and say, okay, I need some expert advice, right? So that is the way the perception is, but indeed it is different, right? Elasticity, again, we talk about scalability, it can extend horizontally, right? But when it comes to shrinking, right? Coming back to normalcy when workloads are less, the flexibility is not that good, right? Or it is designed in such a way it is not elastic, right? So that is in some workloads or some work cases that is required. For example, I worked for one publishing company. Uh, they had peak sales during some season. Rest of the time, it is the workloads are below 10% of the total capacity. So these guys were running it for several years before they decided, no, we are running below most of the year. We are running below 10% of the capacity, and we want to right get out of mainframe. This is one scenario I have seen. Right now, these are challenges pushing you to modernize, pushing the customers to modernize or move away from mainframe. Now, on the right side, what we see are challenges which are stopping you from modernizing applications, right? I don't want to spend on each one of them, but I'll read a few of them. One is fear of failure. So I want to just recall one experience I had when I started my career and started talking about modernization. So I know quite a few clients, mostly in banking, they were trying to get out of mainframe by rewriting. So they started rewriting from COBOL to .NET, COBOL to Java, right? So they tried. They were into it for several years, and right when I was introduced to it, they were saying yet several years are to go before we reach a complete plan. So this was one bank I was able to see. Another bank, they got frustrated and said, "Hey, we have pumped in enough money, spent at least 3 years, and we are seeing nothing near to closure, right? Or some modernized application." So it went in loop. So it becomes a spaghetti, and you won't be able to complete. So this introduced a lot of fear in the minds of customers who are running these mainframe shops. So very, very sticky, right? Very, very complex to migrate as well, right? So this is fail of failure. Then we talk about immediate gratification. Today, you don't want to spend several years trying to migrate, right? So CTOs are coming, taking charge, and they want to see something in the same year. They want to invest some fund, right? They want to see some outcomes the very same year. And again, IBM brings a lot of stickiness to it, right? So the moment you go and say, IBM, I want to exit out of mainframe in the next 6 months or 12 months, right? They will say, hey, we will slash your tariff by 20%. So they achieved the goal for that moment, right? They will say, okay, so I have to show some savings, right, by doing something else. But just by proposing a modernization, I was able to slash the price. So this year, my goal is achieved. So that is immediate gratification. So they just put all the modernization plans under wrap. So all these happens. We see this often happening with mainframe customers, right? Application knowledge is another challenge, right? So the very first thing they say, hey, we want to modernize. Yes, I want to modernize, but what is stopping you? I don't have people who knows what these applications are doing. The people who knew are already retired or displaced already. So the new people can keep the lights on, but they won't be able to understand what it is doing or help with the testing or explaining what it is. So these are some of the challenges which prohibits mainframe mainframe shops or customers to take action towards modernization. So this is again stickiness to mainframe, right? Or a success point for mainframe manufacturers. So with all these, let's also look at some of the drivers. You still have some drivers for modernization. Let's look at it. Let's see from a priority perspective. So let me share my screen. So this shows different drivers. Uh, the priority for these drivers will vary customer to customer, right? So you will have to really understand what is the priority, which factor. So that will help us take a decision on the paths and solutions and also the selection of tools and approach to reach the target. So this will have to be understood clearly before even we plan or prepare to modernize. Right? So this is what we help our customers in evaluating. So let me move to the next part. Now, what is changing now that we are talking about modernization, right? More often than ever, right? So let's see some of the reasons here, right? Industry innovation. So these are general stuff, right? It is happening across the industry, across IT landscapes, across sectors, right? Be it banking, or manufacturing, or mining, right? So this innovation is happening across, right? So computer systems and IT landscapes are improving and innovating every year, right? Um, if you are stuck with legacy, you you have to play catch up. So your competitor will be ahead, and you have to play catch up. Nobody wants to do that, right? So that is another reason, and that speed of innovation is increasing year on year. The pace at which innovation happens is astounding today, right? Second reason is solution maturity. I talked about the story a few decades ago, right? The only way to get out of exit mainframe is to rewrite mainframe, and they fail. Now, if you see, you have a lot of solution and tools available to accelerate mainframe modernization, which helps you. So most of the things can be automated. Your manual work can be reduced. So which speeds up, and that boosts the confidence of the customer to invest more and take up initiatives. There are several success stories, right? And the maturity of tool is also increasing now. Not just the availability, maturity is also increasing. Hyperscalers, few decades ago, we can't think about I want to try something, right? I either have to go to a university or go to a company who owns this data center, pay some huge amount, and they will have a data center open for you, create, right? So this is some several months process for you to do a POC or try something new or develop some product on your own, right? Today, hyperscalers are so democratized, right? If you have a credit card, you just pay and get a virtual environment for you to develop, right? On demand. So this is available today, was not available decades ago. Another pressing reason for you to adopt to modernize. AI, nobody can, it's everywhere. It's no more a hype. It has become mainstream, right? So whatever devices we use, whatever applications we use, right? Whatever we use, AI is there, right? Even while we are speaking, something is getting recorded. The, the statements which I say is getting converted into English text again, help of AI. It's everywhere. So how do I leverage it? How do I integrate that? So I have to also be using AI. So this is another pressure point. Sense of value, I talked about it when I introduced, right? So all CXOs are talking about value per dollar, right? And the frequency is increased. And they are not hesitant to try new things, right? They want to try new things. They are looking at results and looking for easy way to try. Today, those ecosystems are available, and they are able to try and come to result very closely. Then there is a mindset for legacy. Legacy is seen as a burden, and they want to get rid of it as soon as possible. Now, uh, systems, people who were running business, they want to focus more on business or what value the business will bring to customer rather than maintaining and upkeep of their IT system. So they don't want to. They want to do away with all these capex. They want to reduce their capex, and they want to focus on their business, which they are good at, right? So uh, another thing is market speed. You look at competitors, they are agile and they are able to do bring changes in their applications so fast, right? If you talk about some of the e-commerce sites, right? You hear about some events, the next day you will see some pop-up, some dashboard, right? All those are available today to see, right? Very, very fast. So I understand there will be some questions. Please hold it. I'll try to complete in the next few minutes. We will have all those questions at us. When we move to tool ecosystem, I'll just have to show you what are the different tools available today in the market for us to grab, right? So I have a few themes listed here: efficiency and integration. Some of the tools you see there, emulation-based tools. You can see some of the tools. Transpiler, which is language migration, COBOL to Java, COBOL to .NET. Several solutions are available. Or if you want to freshly build your applications new, right? Or you have generative AI or low code, no code solutions available, or you have SaaS, software as a service to replace it. So we have studied all these and we help customer with the right choice, right? Maturity of these tools are getting better year on year, right? We are able to see composite solution also, not just these solution. They are partnering with the cloud provider and having a go-to-market together. So that becomes a compelling reason for customers to adopt or modernize. So let me quickly move to expectation for on different layers of application. So this trend is developing, right? So few decades ago, it's very difficult to say, hey, can we achieve this? But today, clients are coming and saying, hey, I want this layer to be modernized like this. So let me quickly jump into some of the features here. UI, they're expecting they want to improve customer experience. They want to show multi-channel responsive UI and show interoperability. Any device you have, you want to see that, be it SMS or social media, everywhere you want to see their presence, right? So you can interact by mobile app or a browser, right? So anyway, they want to reach out and improve the usage, right? So accessibility need to be improved from user. So from that point of view, they are expecting a modern UI. Mainframe comes with default with a green screen, which is difficult for end user to use at all, right? Right. Then modern stack with respect to application, they want to do away with all proprietary stack or platform specific stack. They want to pick something which is latest and greatest with standard framework with a long-term support, right? They don't want to rely on one vendor to maintain this. And also to address a skill problem, they want to choose the latest one, which is standard across, which will sustain for several years. And today we can see customers embracing more open technologies, modern stack. Data, again, very important topic. Now, if you see more and more high performance database options are available today. So scalable and managed. So you don't have to have a infrastructure and a database licensing. You don't have to do all those. So you have it as a platform as a service, database as a service. So you will be able to leverage today. Architecture perspective, more and more applications are moving. Architecture is moving towards a service orientation architecture, service based architecture, and more. Nowadays, we are talking more about microservice, right? Most of the mainframe customers, they have microservice at their end goal, right? Modernize. So that is not only for the distributed system or the new technology, even from legacy, they want to move towards microservices. And in fact, one fact is you can enable microservices on mainframe itself. Build and deploy. Now, usage of more automation tools are available today, easy to adopt, and it is not it has become it's not an optional option now. It has become a standard practice to leverage DevOps. So reduce manual effort, improve speed by automation, right? Be it testing, deployment, integration. Then comes infrastructure. Slowly, if you see, uh, customers are moving from commodity hardware. They're not preferring commodity hardware. Sorry, they are not preferring proprietary hardware. They want to move towards commodity hardware, right? So commodity hardware, meaning x86, where you can deploy any of the OS, right? So you can't take a ZOS, Z machine, and put a different operating system on it, right? So you need a proprietary software to run on a proprietary hardware. So they want to move away from that model. They want to use commodity hardware, which can be reused in future. So from a support perspective, they want to look at standard technology. They don't want to look at some scarce and rare technology. So you have to hunt for people to support, right? So they want to stick to as standard as possible today. And they don't want to deal with licensing, renewal, and all those things, right? Like I mentioned, they want to move towards open technology as much as possible, reduce the overhead of these licensing. They want to focus more on business than handling technology related areas like technology debt or all these overheads. So these are expectation and trends asked from customer from uh, application layers perspective. Let's look at modernization approaches, right? So interestingly, as I told before, there were limited options for them to get out of mainframe. But today there are different strategies, well tested approaches available, methodologies available, tool sets available, right? And very mature system integrators are available with a lot of experience who can guide. So tactical and strategic. So we are working with certain customers. They want to exit mainframe before the renewal, right? So they are time bound. So how do we do it? We have a strategic way to just get out of mainframe as quick as possible. But from true essence of modernization, we take long-term strategic steps. So this combination is working well with several customers. We also have stagger as a style of modernization. So you don't have to do all things big bang. So today you have tools and methodologies available for you to break it down into manageable pieces, take it out slowly, right? Small pieces are at a time. So without impacting the business continuity perspective. Now coming to multi-pacing, so this is another term which is gaining prominence. So I have seen this in the open world, right? So now even mainframe customers are asking for this. So they have multiple layers of application or multiple business domains, talking about a system of records, system of engagement, right? So system of engagement, applications on system of engagement or layers on system of engagement will undergo a lot of changes, but system of records will need less changes. So from modernization point of view, so you have enough time for you to handle system of records. So you can do it at a slower pace. But whereas the customer facing part of application or customer facing applications itself, they have to be dealt very swiftly, right? So you have treatments, different treatment methodology to treat different application, different layers individually in a different way. SaaS first, again, when they want to exit mainframe, they are looking at options. If there is a SaaS model available, that is the first preference. If not, then build your own custom, right? So that is a model used, selected by several customers, right? And makes common sense. You don't have to deal with uh, your data center, right? You don't have to deal with air conditioning, security, your bandwidth, security bandwidth, electricity, UPS, cooling, right? All these overheads can be completely removed. You can have zero capex if you go to SaaS, right? Pay per use. Then you have know your applications, right? So if you look at 20, 30 years back, right? If you get into any mainframe shop, you speak to any of the people, they know in and out of the application. So if you talk about one transaction ID, they will be able to tell you about which program, which vSAN file is using it, which DP2 tables, right? To that level, they will have knowledge. But those people are already retired or about to get retired, right? So they are already aging. If you look today, whoever is maintaining today are just keeping the lights on. So you ask them questions, hey, what is the interface? What is a blast radius of this component? Nobody knows, right? And if you ask for documentation, again, no documentation. So there were people who had everything in their head and they were able to give all those answers, but they didn't take time to document and maintain the knowledge base. That is another ask from customers. Now they want to assess their application and find out what is there, right? And also are to understand whether they are prepared for modernization. Are they ready for modernization, or what are the risks involved? What are the complexities involved in modernization, right? Are there any feasibility challenges? So the customers want to understand their applications. So there are several assessment methodologies and tools available today for helping them to understand their own application and create documentation. And GenAI is very well used in this area as well. Quick to try and fail. And today they are not hesitant to try any of the new ideas, right? So they have to spend less money because you have a cloud, pay per use on demand cloud. So you don't need it, you can just stop using it. Say all these ecosystem are helping them to try out new things. They can do several POCs, they can do several trials and studies and explorations, and right. Uh, and they want to start small and fail quickly. So if that is not working, they want to understand quickly without much investment of time, effort, and money, right? So these are some of the trends we are seeing, right? Multiple asks are coming in this way. Again, now coming to hosting and infra side, right? So I don't want to, I think I'm running out of time. So I'll quickly run through these. So multi-cloud, customers are looking for multi-cloud. They are not happy with one single cloud, right? They want to design application, modernize application in such a way it is supporting multi-cloud. So if they decide to switch from AWS to Azure, they should be able to do as quickly as possible. And we are seeing customers who are hosting applications on one cloud, right? And database on another cloud, and analytics are built on another cloud. So all these combinations we are seeing. Second thing are, I mean, they want to do away with the data centers, and right, all these are virtualized, and they want to uh, uh, build a private cloud, right? And without using the public cloud. So private cloud, they use it across the enterprise. They will have several internal usage, right? Plus, if they have compute space, compute or storage, right, to spare, they start new business model. So in the few decades, you can see phone companies are starting their music streaming services, right? Or providing internet services, right? Providing other TV, IPTV solution. So that is because they have created the ecosystem. They can leverage and use it for other purposes. So that is another trend which is picking up speed. Managed services today, though, nobody want to maintain their own ecosystem, their IT system. They are seeing it as an overhead, right? They want to pick up any of the hosting which is managed by somebody, right? Whoever is providing should manage. I am ready to pay, but they'll have to manage. I don't have to have the headache of licensing, renewal, right? Power outage, compliance issues, right? I don't have to deal with any of this. Automation, I think we have spoken enough about it. Now adaptation is used. So they have to choose infra which supports. SaaS again, so if you want to choose a infra or a hosting, sometimes they want to skip the infra itself. They want to just pick up the software as a platform, software as a service. They don't want to deal with all other things. Microservices, as we were talking about in the previous slides, they are moving towards microservices, right? So if you ask uh, 10, 5 out of 10 legacy customers, they want to move towards a microservice. So you'll have to choose an infrastructure which is compatible with microservices. Similar to portability, related to the multi-cloud and the private cloud or topic. So you have to build your application in such a way you will be able to port it anywhere, like the containerization, right? Dockers and Kubernetes. So all that is possible today. So those technologies were not available previously. Now it is available. So clients are exploiting these facilities today. Serverless, again, gaining momentum, right? Nobody want to maintain their servers, upgrade it, right? Add capacity, add storage. So it's all uh, software defined infrastructure, right? So quickly, let me also talk about what hyperscalers are thinking, right, in terms of mainframe modernization, right? So we spoke enough about modernization and how uh, mainframers are looking at it, right? So what are the risks? What are the enablers? So let's also look at what hyperscalers are thinking, right? This is my own view or my based on my understanding, interaction with these CSPs. This is my own view of what they are thinking, right? So Azure they were early bird in terms of mainframe modernization. So they had initially partnered with several small time tool providers, solution providers. They were going to market as a partnership mode, right? Uh, they tried all that in the initial days, and uh, they also tried to build partnership with SIs, system integrators, like Capgemini, right? Uh, right. So that they can help customers accelerate in their mainframe journey, right? With the so their current strategies based on the opportunity, they want to partner with the different tools and different SIs according to the customer needs. So they don't have a very good long-term strategy, but this is what is working for them. And there is a lot of potential in GitHub Copilot, a lot of investment there. From mainframe modernization point of view, we are already leveraging GitHub Copilot in converting COBOL to Java, code generation and documentation and testing, a lot of areas. So that is about Azure. About AWS, you would have heard about Blue Edge. They acquired a company called Blue Edge. They are already partnered with multiple small solution providers, including as large as Micro Focus, MLogica, a host of others as well, right? Blue Edge, they acquired it, and Blue Edge was a language translation tool. But now, when Blue Edge is onboarded to AWS, it has become an end-to-end service with the AWS ecosystem. They have packaged very well, right? So it will be a huge value for customers to adopt. So that is the way they have packaged it. Amazon Q, another growing area where generative AI can be leveraged for mainframe modernization. GCP, again, they acquired small companies like Cornerstone, and they renamed it as G4. That is another promising one. So uh, I don't know how many wins they had so far, but it is a formidable force they have. Another head turner is dual run. So dual run is uh, you'll be able to test and monitor both mainframe system and the modernized system simultaneously, and this will boost the customers confidence level to say, hey, okay, now I am confident that the new modernized application is working exactly as mainframe. So that is helping them move forward in the modernization journey. Gemini is again, their Gen AI capabilities also picking up speed, right? So GCP, we are hearing a lot of customers are asking for GCP as a target as well nowadays, right? IBM, right? They are investing heavily on mainframe, right? all layers, infrastructure, right? The hardware layer, the interfacing layer, the software, right? Everywhere, right? And they are also bringing composite offerings like combining Watson X, their generative AI, their AI solution. They can help um, rewrite their COBOL, translate COBOL into Java and run that Java on mainframe. So all that composite offerings are brought to the table, right? They are pushing their boundaries, performance boundaries from IBM hardware standpoint. Also, they are increasing, as you have seen, 19 billion transaction per day, huge, right? Huge potential, right? No other mainframe manufacturer have done that. So all these are really good way to look at it. They also have cloud. So if you want to move to cloud, they also have offering for that as well. You would have heard about Bluemix, their cloud subsidiary, and also they have interesting solutions to host mainframe workload in a non-Z machines as well. So they are adapting and trying some markets, some trying with some customers. All those interesting things are happening, right? So with that, I'm concluding this session, right? Just a recap. I don't want to read it again, right? So we have seen all these topics today, right? So any questions? Time for questions. Happy to take any questions. So even if it is silly, please go ahead and ask.
Please feel free to ask any questions.
So no questions means two things. One, you understand clearly everything, or you missed the topic completely.
It is obviously the first option.
I go ahead. Ask.
Somebody has.
Yeah. Hi, Senthil. So, Senthil, my question is regarding the career options as a mainframe developer or as a mainframe professional. If we are aspiring to move into that modernization thing, so what do you suggest? Like, how should we proceed? Because everyone in the market seeks experience for the modernization. And as someone who has always been on the mainframe side, we are willing to go for that particular area and explore the opportunities, but we are not that much welcomed by the industry as such. So what do you suggest for that?
Yes. So we are building say programs to do that. So mainframe modernization is slightly different from mainframe skill itself, right? So mainframe modernization skill will require a bit of mainframe knowledge, bit of cloud knowledge, bit of architecture knowledge, bit of target knowledge, right? Bit of integration knowledge. So all these in a bits should be is needed for a mainframe modernization skill, right? So how do we start, right? If you have any of these skills and you want to augment on other areas, like if you have mainframe skill, you want to learn cloud and you want to learn a bit of integration and you want to understand some of the solutions, right? Tools you learn. There are trainings available. So we are also conducting several trainings for different partners, certifying them. So those paths are available. You can engage in those and equip yourself. And when the opportunity comes, you can position yourself, right? Sell yourself and get into some opportunities. So it is slightly different than the core mainframe itself. Hope it answers your question.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, Manoj.
Senthil, I would like to know, what are the key challenges we will be facing when we integrate AI with the mainframe system? Is it possible? Can you please give me a real-time example?
Yes, it is possible. So there are several scenarios, right? So you can leverage AI to in terms of productivity, right? You want to improve productivity, you want to speed up your testing, you want to speed up your accelerate your development. You want to understand more. You want to get more knowledge about your application itself, right? Generative AI is used, right? So example is Watson X Code Assistant, right? You can look it up for. They are effectively using generative AI to understand code. You just put the COBOL program or any other program for that matter, it will do the explanation part. It will tell you, summarize what that program is doing. So this will give a programmer, right, who is completely new, right? So you don't want somebody else to come in and explain, right? Or you don't have to go through line by line to understand. So if it has like 3,000 or 6,000 lines of code, very cumbersome for you to go through a line by line to understand. So GenAI does maximum work for you, right? If set up correctly, it will give a summary for you. And the testing, so it will help you generate. You give the code, and it will you can ask GenAI to generate test cases for you. It is doing it, right? I'm right. I was surprised to see all those things. So a lot of productivity in terms of testing. It is able to do. It is able to tell you how complex it is, right? And it is also helping you to understand how dirty your code is. So again, is also bringing this Watson X, which shows you throw in dirty COBOL, it will clean out your COBOL and give you neat COBOL, which means you are dealing with a technical debt at a program level. So all that is possible. This is one possibility. This is within mainframe. Outside mainframe, we are seeing use cases where customers are taking, so wherever manual rewrite, right? Manual rewrite is there. You can replace. We can use generative AI to accelerate that. So you take a piece of COBOL and construct the business logic, construct the data layer, and you will be able to generate Java or .NET. Right. One of the cases where I talked about GitHub Copilot, some of our customers are leveraging it to convert COBOL to .NET. So it is used as we speak.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for letting me know about that.
Anything else? Any other questions?
Hi, Senthil. Do we have anything ongoing in Capgemini for modernization? And you shared, right, that we have programs where mainframers can upgrade into modernization journey. So would we be receiving invites or updates regarding such trainings that are happening?
Yeah, within Capgemini, this is an open forum, I think. Within Capgemini, please reach out to me. I lead the mainframe modernization practice. So please feel free to reach out to me. I can talk. There are several modernization programs, and we have our own knowledge building programs as well. Feel free to connect with me. I can talk more about it.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll go for one more question. Anybody? All right. Thank you so much for your patience. And Chandra, should I hand it over to you?
Yeah, thank you. Apparently, there are no other questions, but it's okay. Thank you very much. Let me propose vote of thanks formally. First and foremost, our sincere thanks to our esteemed speaker for mobilizing our request and sharing through this webinar his deep insights, expertise, and innovative perspectives on mainframe modernization. Sir, your contributions have provided us with valuable knowledge on how to navigate the future of mainframe technology effectively. Thank you, Mr. Senthil Kumaran. And on behalf of Computer Society of India, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made today's webinar on trends in mainframe modernization success. I would also like to express my appreciation to all the participants for joining us today and engaging with thoughtful questions and discussions. Dear participants, your enthusiasm and active participations have made this event even more enriching. Request your continuous support for our webinars. Our special thanks to Kirti for her support for CSS initiative on webinars. A big thanks to Sandeep, who worked diligently to ensure a seamless experience for everyone. Sandeep, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. There was one question from Prashant. Is it okay to take, Chandra?
Sure, sir. Let us.
Prashant, please go ahead.
Thanks for chancing to me. So in future, are we planning some a live session for mainframe modernization?
Yeah, we do conduct a lot of tech hour sessions for mainframers, right? If it is within Capgemini, please feel free to reach out to me.
Yeah, if it is required, we can even have it from Computer Society of India, if Mr. Senthil is okay for it.
Happy to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you all. Have a nice day, all of you. Bye.
Thanks. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aman. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thanks, Senthil.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.